I'm here with the talented and driven and ambitious Nathalia Ramos, and we're going to talk about her film, Wildflower. But before we get into that, Nathalia, I want you to I think there's a big misconception about success and what it really takes to make it and kind of how to position yourself to win. And you've done that and have been doing that. So I want you to kind of take 2 or 3 minutes and take us through your journey. You were born in Spain, auditioned in Miami, came to LA, went to England. Give us the rundown of you. So like your audition day, what was that auditioning for the Brides and actually realizing that you got the part? Like take me back to that day.
I remember it vividly. I was living in Miami at the time, and I'd done several auditions over Skype. I was 14 and I was in school, and I had to lie to my teacher and say that I was sick or something. I can't remember what it was, and I flew to LA for the final audition, and that's when I met the girls. I wasn't nervous. I was just so excited to be in LA, and I remember after the audition, I begged my mom to drive me past Beverly Hills High School.
Wow.
And I said,
You're like, I have to see 902. This is it.
902.
This is the pinnacle.
And I have a photo. I still have a photo. I said, I'm going to go here one day. This is going to be my school. And I did.
Wow.
And that's where I went to high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you literally have spoken a lot of these things into existence without even probably
it's funny because I always wanted to do this. There was never any other option. I always wanted to be an actress. I always had this, dream of, I don't know, just being here. And so the fact that I'm here now and this is my life and I've made a great life for myself here and I have my friends and I went to school here and I go to college here and just now it's home. It's just really surreal going back to that place. I think it's surreal to see how now
far,
it's
and to see where you are now and kind of even more where you're going, which is important.
I suppose it's a never-ending thing. I definitely don't think I'm there yet. I don't know where there is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, where's there?
Yeah.
Can someone find it and point it out?
I don't think I'll ever just be like, okay,
I'm here.
I'm done.
That's it. I'm done. It's over. Yeah.
But the biggest thing that I've learned is people ask me all the time, how do you deal with rejection? And I don't look at it as being rejected. I think if you look at it that way, then you're going to just be so depressed all the time. But it's just an opportunity. It's a challenge, and just being, turned down so many times over the years, and it's still, I'm still going out there like trying to find, the next role and trying to do what I love, and it's just a constant, up and down, and just getting used to those ups and downs has been really the biggest lesson for me, I think.
Like you said, you could take the route of being like, I'm rejected, I'm not good enough, or you could take the route and be like, you know what, that role is not for me.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to have it.
You have to. And it's so funny because so many times I've been really upset that I didn't get one role. I ended up getting a role that was so much better suited for me. And had I gotten the other one, I wouldn't have been able to do that one. So I think the universe works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, and it all kind of follows through and aligns with your specific path, which you could drive yourself crazy trying to figure it out, but you just have to go every day and just kind of figure it out. So you mentioned college.
Yeah.
High five again.
Thank you.
Political science with a deep focus in Southeast Asia, as if acting and rejection and dealing with all of the elements of just being a young woman in the industry, period, isn't enough. You're going to school on top of that. Like, tell me how do you find the time? How do you have that work-life balance? Like, what is that like?
So school has always, for my parents, been, a non-option.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really want to go to school at first. I was like, well, if I'm going to go to school, I'm going to study theater. That's all I want to do. And then I started, I don't know, I just, one day I was just like, I'm really into politics and government, and started studying it, and it opened my world. And at the beginning, going to school kind of made me a little crazy because it was hard. It was really hard to go from set in the UK to then. I remember one time I flew from the UK. I went straight to the Kids' Choice Awards, won a Kids' Choice Award up there on the stage, made my speech, and then went straight to class. And then my teacher's like, "And you have a 15-page paper."
Yeah. And you're like, and if this isn't reality, I don't know what is.
Yeah. And it was like it's a shock to. And when you're young, I was 18 or something, and I was kind of on my high horse.
Of course, you were feeling yourself.
Yeah. Sure. It doesn't quite sound as good.
Yeah. We'll work on that.
Okay. Thanks. And so it definitely messed with my head a little bit, but it kept me grounded, and now it's actually what keeps me sane. I love, crazy Hollywood, and I love the artistic, fun, exciting, creative side, but then I also love knowing what's happening in the world and finding out what's really important and how I can use my voice as an actress and my platform to educate myself. Now I'm in the process of just educating myself, and then one day, you know, the goal is I really want to merge these two worlds because I don't think they're incompatible.
Because if you're in a bubble, you're in the bubble of what did you wear and who's dating who,
Yeah.
and you know, what car are you driving, all these things that at the end of the day and at the end of time don't really matter.
Right.
It's so easy to get consumed in it because that's the expectation, you know.
Yeah.
As an artist, as soon as you walk out, you're judged, you're scrutinized, you're being talked about good or bad, you know, whether you did good in this role, what award you received, what accolades you know, obtained from it, all matters. And then you're like, but there's people starving.
Yeah. It really, really puts things into perspective.
Wow.
So, yeah, I just, you know, how do you do it? I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes. So now getting into Wildflower and talking about perspective, this being a huge role for you and being a role that's a psychological thriller, really. How has this role kind of changed you or opened up your mind as an actress in a completely different way? Talking about awareness.
This was a really important role for me because I think the movie has a really important message. And that's the message of mental health, which is something that isn't discussed enough at all. And so many people, you realize, are affected by it in some way.
Yeah.
The fact that it's not discussed enough, it's never going to be resolved.
Yes.
You know, it's this new issue of our time, I think, and because we can't see it, we almost want to pretend it's not there.
Well, and because there's not enough light brought to it, it's also like it doesn't exist. Right?
Yeah.
And so it's like
you can't see it.
Yeah, you can't see it, and so then you come in, you're playing this role and kind of getting into that character, you're educating yourself in a completely different way on what it's actually like. How has that opened your mind in the sense of being like, just being more aware, you know, just being more aware of everything around you?
Yeah, this was the first role, like you said, coming from Nickelodeon, and which was all amazing parts of my journey. And now I'm at this place where I'm kind of experimenting with different genres, and I'm growing as an actress and showing, you know, I'm excited for the audience to see this new side of me. And I had to actually sit with therapists and psychologists and study.
Take yourself there.
Yeah, and it was hard to go to that place every day, for sure. It was my most challenging role, I think art and all different forms of art, be it music, you know, books, movies, these are ways of expression that people can cope, and if someone can watch this and say, I get that, you know, and relate to it, then my job is done.
It's done.
I worked really hard to really understand where she was coming from.
When you're stepping on set, what mind switch are you doing to really get into that character? You know, it's one thing to sit down with a therapist and to kind of have them give you the paper version of what this illness is, or the paper version of like, you know, this person's depressed, this person is hallucinating, this person is, but to really actually go there for you, how do you tap into that part? Where does that come from?
It's really hard. I think every actor kind of has their own methods.
Yes.
And it's hard because some days you wake up and you're like, I'm happy today. I'm really feeling
I don't
crying.
feel like depressed.
That's the hardest part on those days when you're just really not feeling it. I have my kind of routine. I spend time alone in my trailer, and I actually have a cry playlist on my iPod.
Oh, is Adele on there?
Of
course she's on there. Yeah, because anytime Adele comes out with a song, I can't wait to hear it, but I don't want to think about my ex that I haven't thought about in 6 years.
I usually designate a song to the character or to the situation.
Okay.
Music for me is a really powerful emotional trigger. And it's funny because the whole crew, they know. When I show up to set and I have my headphones in, they know, okay, don't talk to the toddler.
Exactly.
And it's also, people don't realize, it's very technical. It's all about timing. So you don't want to come to set and, you know, I have to talk with the director ahead of time. What shot are you doing? When's my close-up? Because if I show up to set, I'm bawling, and then Cody's, you know, close-up.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, so I said, these tears were, no, not today. Okay, no tears today, great.
So that would be kind of bad too. So it gets really technical also.
Yes.
So
you speak about music being a trigger for you, and you speak about your parents being in the music industry. Were you ever just super focused on just creating music? Did you always just go right into film? Did you battle between the two?
I started in musical theater, which is, you know, where the two worlds meet.
Yes.
And acting just kind of took off, and then music just took a side seat. I haven't pursued it professionally,
Okay.
but I've always been writing songs. My dad is a musician, and then my mom is a music manager.
Oh.
So I have.
That's like the perfect. That's like a Beyonce in the making. That's like a
Oh my
perfect
gosh!
product.
Can you?
I can imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but it's more my dad is the one who's like dream big, reach for the stars,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and he's a total artist.
Yes,
And
yes.
my mom is like, do your taxes, go to school,
Yeah.
like talk to your manager.
Yeah. Well, and it's the perfect balance of the world that a lot of people don't really understand.
Yeah.
And it appears as though you come from a very supported, grounded family.
Yeah.
How important is that for any role that you take to have a family that really supports and understands and is pushing you towards your dream?
It's so important because at the end of the day, who you are as an actor is the life around you. It's not, you're not defined by your auditions and by your work and by your, it's the life that you've created for yourself around you, which in turn influences your art.
Yes.
And especially for projects like this, you know, coming home after a long day,
Of
with
crying,
any type of
listening to
job,
Adele.
yeah, you know, it's you want to have that support system. So to have that, I'm so lucky. All of my friends, not all of my friends, a lot of my friends are not in the business at all. They do all completely different things.
Isn't it so refreshing though to have friends like that?
Yeah.
Because you're just like, so you're not weird and crazy, and now
Yeah,
we have to you're just normal.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny because us, we're like, oh, you're normal. And they're like, oh, you don't understand what happened in the office today.
Exactly. Yeah. That one email, and I got CC'd on. No, I completely.
I mean, I don't understand it at all. And it's just different worlds. And I think in the end, that's also, you know, you're saying family and friends, what keeps
Support system.
Yeah, it's what kind of keeps me grounded.
Also, I've done my research and realized that you love to travel. So, top 3 places you've been.
Ooh, that's so hard. It's hard because I want to say, you know, where my family is, which is Spain and Australia. That's
home.
That's home.
Okay.
But just.
She's like outside of home now.
Outside of home.
Yeah.
Colombia.
Oh, I love it.
So
What part of
much
Colombia did you go to?
So I was filming in Bogota for 2 months. I had the best time ever, and then went back so many times. I have so many friends there, and I kept going back. We go to the film festival in Cartagena every year. Colombia is just the most fun.
Have you been to Cali?
No, but
I heard Cali is really amazing.
And Medellin.
Yes.
It's supposed to be amazing. So I've been to Cartagena and Bogota. So love that. Vietnam.
And you speak a little Vietnamese.
I speak a little Vietnamese.
I'm gonna ask you to teach me off camera because I don't want to embarrass myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is the thing. I understand a lot. When I speak, a lot of times people don't understand me because my accent is so bad. So even now, if I said to me on camera, someone who speaks Vietnamese would be watching, be like, nah, she's like, wrong.
She didn't really know.
She
doesn't really have exactly.
The accent is tough. Vietnam is amazing. I love the history. I feel very connected to the culture, and so I have lots of friends there, and love Vietnam, and then I love Hong Kong.
What is it about Hong Kong that you love specifically?
I have my uncle lives there, so
nice.
I go to visit him as much as I can, and I've developed a little kind of life for myself there. I have lots of friends. I know it around really well. Yeah, I spent a whole summer there once, and it's a dream. I love it. I always say it's imagine Manhattan and Thailand in one because you have this incredible, you know, multicultural city, and then on, you know, a 20-minute drive just around to the other side of the island, and you're just in the tropics.
That's what life should be.
Right?
That's what life should be.
Let's all move to Hong Kong.
That's it. We're going to Hong Kong.
We're all going to Hong Kong.
And I was just about to say, you're a foodie also, and what I've also heard is that you just more or less like, you don't just go to the country and stay at the W Hotel. You like to stay and be in the culture and be immersed in with the people of the country. Just how important is that for you?
The best part about traveling and going to a place is really living like a local and just immersing yourself in it. I'll try anything. My boyfriend and I went to Cuba. And because this was 2 years ago, and I said, I know it's going to open up.
Yes.
We have to go now. And look, I knew it.
Speaking things into existence.
Exactly. I knew it was going to, and I wanted to go before it opened up. We went illegally.
Yeah.
You know,
she didn't really mean illegally.
I didn't mean it. Yeah. Is that okay to say?
Yeah.
I mean, I got away with it, so it's fine now, right? So we went, and we had no plan. I'd done a ton of research before, but we literally just had a backpack, and you look for these signs on the casa particulares, which are like the guest homes, and it basically says room available. And so we would go, we would just knock on the door and be like, hey, do you have a room? And you live with these people who are renting out their homes to you, and
wow.
and you get to meet and we would just sit and talk to locals and tell me about your life and your experience. And that is the best.
That's the goal.
That's the coolest thing I've ever done.
That's the goal, and that's really relating and connecting in a completely different way. Because you're like, I'm in your house, so I'm like extended family. So.
Yeah, I totally recommend just, you know, it's nice to have the balance. Like, for sure, you want to go stay in a nice hotel.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I think if you can go out of your way to find these little special things.
Moments, it'll create special moments. So 2 more questions, then I'm gonna let you go. So what do you want people to take away from Wildflower?
To really think about the messages of this film and to be entertained, and it's, fun and just thriller and mystery.
Yes,
but at the same time also just come out and think, maybe my cousin or my brother or my dad or whoever, maybe they need a little extra support, or maybe they're struggling. Maybe I should talk to them. And just to start a conversation, because I think that communication is key to so many things and is actually what's going to resolve so many issues that we have in this world. And if we can start on one small scale, then I think that's really cool.
And what advice would you give to any one of your fans, or just anyone who's interested in seeing themselves in the movie, seeing themselves in film? Like, what do you think are the key elements that they would need to have?
I was always worried that going to school or pursuing other things would negatively impact my acting career, and it's only enhanced it. If you want to be an actor, you want to bring you want to have as rich a life as possible, and bring as much as you can into your art, and so it's never going to hold you back. It will only enhance. Find something else that you love, and pursue as many things as you can, because it will only benefit you.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for taking the time.
We'll
talk about the politics off camera.
Oh, yeah, don't get me started. Hi, I'm Nathalia Ramos, and you're watching Press Pass LA. And you can find me on Instagram at Nathalia Ramos 73, Twitter at Nathalia 73, and I'm also on Facebook.